According to a Ernst & Young report published in 2016, less than half of full-time workers trust their employers, their managers, their colleagues. Less than half. The lack of trust in an organization can cause a lot of damage, and by the end of this video, you will know how to find out if people in your organization trust each other and how to drastically increase trust in your team, in your organization. Let's start with defining trust, which is the firm belief in the reliability, the truth and ability of someone. Imagine the scenario. Your organization wants to implement Agile, the Agile way of working, meaning as from now on, we welcome change. And next thing you know, the customer wants to change something in the application and the technical team responds with a It's one thing to say that you're Agile, and it's another thing to act in an Agile way. Maybe the technical team believes that someone messed up when writing the original requirements, and because of this person, we now need to modify the feature. Another common example is when business people, maybe the product owner, they don't trust the estimations being given by the developers. No, you can do it in a shorter time frame. This is taking far too long. I'm sure you can do it in a shorter time frame. Two simple examples showing how the lack of trust can cause conflicts between team members. Now, principle number 5 of the Agile Manifesto: build projects around motivated individuals, give them the environment and support they need, and trust them to get the job done. Trust them to get the job done. Imagine we now live in an organization where this principle is true. Everyone is trusting each other. In the team, the developers trust the product owner trusts the developers, the business people, everyone is trusting each other. Even the leaders trust us and we trust the leaders. All of a sudden, all the problems disappear. Agile says that most problems, if not all problems, can be fixed with trust, increasing the level of trust. This trust concept might seem obvious because there's no relationships without trust. Trust is the centerpiece of all relationships. Trust is sometimes given naturally, family members, but for most people, it's built over time, also removed. If trust is broken in a team, no one will want to work together. Everyone will play defensive. No one will want to work towards a common goal. That's the most important thing in a team. In teamwork, trust again, most issues can be fixed by simply increasing the level of trust. Before talking about how to increase the level of trust in your team, in your organization, let's talk about what trust looks like, starting with trusting people to do their job. As simple as that. Start with trusting people. Trust that they will do everything in their control and influence to get the job done. Use all their skills, all the knowledge to get the job done. Remember, an Agile team is self-managed, meaning that they decide what to build, how to build it, who builds it, and by when to build it. They decide that, not a manager somewhere. No one is micromanaging them. That's not trust. No, trust them that they will get the job done. They are skilled people. Trust that they will get the job done. You see that often in Scrum. Every single sprint, we do a sprint planning. A sprint planning where the developers sit together and decide what they will be able to accomplish in the next sprint and decide on a sprint goal together with the team. Then they work together to accomplish the sprint goal by the end of a sprint. So they make a commitment and work towards this commitment. Everyone in the organization should trust the team that they will be able to meet this commitment. They will do everything in their control and influence to meet this commitment. A commitment is not a promise. No, many things can happen. People can fall sick. Dependencies can get stuck. Many things can happen, but they will do everything in their control. They will escalate also to managers for help, but they will do everything in their control in order to meet this commitment. And people should trust that. Trust that people do their job. Now, something that I was doing wrong when starting out as a Scrum Master was preventing the team from learning. I was trusting the team, but sometimes I saw people, team members, going into a route that would bring them to an issue. So I told them, okay, don't go there. Go in route B instead. By doing this, I'm preventing the person from failing and learning from their mistake and being accountable, being independent and not needing me. If they're not doing this mistake, they will always need me to tell them which route to take. Am I trusting the person when doing this? No, I'm not trusting them. If a person is skilled, knowledgeable, and they are doing everything in their control and influence to get the job done, why am I telling them what to do? I should trust that they do their job well. I thought I was trusting the person, but no, I'm not really. And most people do that. Most people, when they see people going into the wrong directions, they tell them, no, don't do that, let them fail. What you should do instead is creating an environment where it's okay to fail. We experiment with new things, we try new things out, we innovate. Sometimes we fail, and it's okay to fail. But let's try to fail fast, as fast as possible. Let's not waste time doing experiments that are too long. No, quick experiments. Try to be innovative and fail fast. One of the very best ways to increase the level of trust in your team is creating a working agreement, which simply details how we will work together. Yeah. Try to find a Scrum Master or an Agile coach or a facilitator somewhere to facilitate the session and create this working agreement together. You can watch this video for more details on how to do that. Once the agreement is built, you have a document, a foundation of trust. All the things, everything related to work should be in this document, and people need to abide to it and be accountable based on that. And anyone in the team should be able to say, okay, you are not doing what we previously agreed on. You're breaking the trust of a team, and you should be punished. No, obviously don't punish them, but you can review the agreement afterwards. But at least you know what is allowed and not allowed in the team, and you can keep people accountable on what was agreed on. Now, there's two types of people. People who give trust, who trust everyone, and people who believe that trust needs to be earned. I'm in this category of people that believe trust needs to be earned. There needs to be a reason why we trust someone. I can't blindly have faith and trust someone, but I don't even know. It doesn't make any sense to me. Let me give you a simple example. I'm sitting at my desk at work, I'm working, and Jane is sitting next to me. I have sufficient evidence that Jane won't be coming next to me, behind me, and stabbing me in the back. I have sufficient evidence of that. I trust that Jane won't be doing that. Maybe she'll do other things, but not that. Now I'm working in a dangerous neighborhood, and I see some people, a group of people with knives. I have sufficient evidence that they might be killing me. They might be attempting to kill me. How do I know that? Well, from past experience, from other people, from movies, but at least I'm referring to something. I can't just blindly trust the person. I trust this group of people from not attempting to kill me. It doesn't make any sense. Some people will tell you just trust everyone, so I should be trusting this group of people with knives? No, I need evidence. Trust needs to be earned. And the number one thing for me is visibility. Visibility, making things visible. Let me give you an example of a working agreement. In the working agreement, we agree on how we'll work together. Everything is on plain paper and visible, and we know exactly how we will be interacting with each other and what we should be expecting from each other. And when you know this, everything is visible. You can trust the person. You are in a safe environment. In the previous example, business people didn't believe estimations being given by the developers. Tell the developers to make it visible. How did we come up to this conclusion? Make everything visible, break down the estimation, and the business people are more likely to trust the estimation and believe you. Sometimes the developers don't believe that we are working on the right things. How do we know that the customer wants that? Break it down. Show how we are doing customer research. Tell the product owner to do all that so that the developers believe you, make it visible. Sometimes managers don't believe that we'll meet a deadline because we always miss deadlines. What does always miss mean? Show them why we are missing the deadlines. Maybe they realize that they could have helped all along. Maybe it's because of dependencies and other things that managers could help the team instead of complaining that we are missing deadlines. Visibility is extremely important. It increases the level of trust. Always make things visible everywhere. One of the 3 pillars of Scrum, transparency. There's a reason why it's mentioned there. Transparency, making things visible, extremely important. Which brings me to my next point. If you want more tips, insights on Agile, Scrum, personal growth, click on the video that stands out the most on the screen right now, and I'll see you in a few seconds.